Hi, everybody. Let's spend a few minutes talking about place or setting. You will hear me use those words a lot, and I will use them interchangeably. Place and setting are essentially the same thing in terms of what we're discussing today. Setting, of course, includes much more than just the place, but it's a good habit to think about place and setting as equally important to each other. So that's why I kind of use them interchangeably. Um, Place is arguably the most important part of creating a rich, vibrant world. And I know that sounds a little bit contradictory to what we talked about last week, with all of our emphasis on our characters. It is absolutely 100% true that without fully realized, totally well thought out characters, that we won't have a great story. The same is true for place and setting. Just like with our characters, it's all about the details. And an important thing to remember, um, place and setting is more than just where your story is, when your story is. It is almost a character into and of itself. Okay. Setting encompasses everything. It's the time, it's the era, it's the whole entire world where your character is existing, where your story is happening. So it's winter outside, even though it's the middle of spring. That's what happens in Michigan. So if I was a character in a story, my setting would be in a small rural town in Michigan, in the United States, in on the planet Earth, in the galaxy, currently at 2020. Um, so, not a super great economy. It's all of that stuff. It's the greater world. Place is more specific. Place is where your character is right now. So, my place, if I were a character, would be in my office, in my small town, in the specific room that I'm in. Okay, so that's the main difference between place and setting. Setting is the entirety of it, place is the specific where you're at. And place and setting, you need to know them just as well as you know your characters. And more importantly, you need to know how your characters are going to react to both their setting and place. Much like our characters, if we don't give enough thought to our setting and our place, specifically our place, it's going to feel flat. And just like with our characters, you need to know everything that you can possibly know about your place, what it smells like, what it feels like. Maybe it's hot outside, but it's cold in there. Or if your character is outside, maybe it's so humid, you're drowning. You need to pay attention to the details of the world around your character. And more importantly, you need to have your characters engage with the world around them. Just like when you're talking with your characters, if you don't know enough about what's going on, about what your character sees and feels in their place, it's going to feel like you don't have enough detail. It's going to make that world feel flat. An important thing to remember when we're talking about place is it is an experience. Okay, I want you to think about when you walked into whatever room or location you're in today. We don't ever just walk into a place, whether that place is inside or outside. We don't ever just walk into a campground. We don't walk just to that fire pit. We don't just walk into our den. I mean, of course we do, but it's not that simple, is it? Okay, when you walk into a place or when you enter into a new place, however you're getting in there, you feel, you see, of course, if your characters see, you feel, you smell, you experience that place, that room. For example, when I walked into the room I am in right now, it was really rainy outside. So the first thing that I noticed when I walked into the room was how dry it was in comparison. It almost felt too hot because outside is a little chilly. The building I'm in is very old. It's a historic building. So there's that dusty smell that never seems to leave old buildings. The glass is really old, so that's kind of warped. So the light that comes in here is sort of diffused natural light. So you experience a place by more than just sight, by more than just being there. Remember, our characters need to do more than be, they actually have to do. And having them engage with the setting is a wonderful way to do that. Having them engage with the place is a great way to keep both your characters and the world you're building alive to your readers. Okay, we want to make sure that we are including details. Don't just say a character walks into the greasy spoon and grabs a seat. Okay, when your character enters that greasy spoon dive diner, they're likely going to smell that old grease fryer, old dirty grease, used grease smell that everybody knows when you walk into a diner. They're going to smell that. They're going to hear the clanking in the kitchen. And if it's like the diner I used to work in, there's probably going to be some music in that kitchen that contradicts what is playing over the loudspeaker in the actual area. There's going to be a little bit of a chaotic noise experience. Even if your character's going into this, diner at midnight, there's going to be noise. Have your characters hear it. Maybe have your characters grumble because it's 12:30 in the morning and all he wants is a cheeseburger, and the cook in the back of the greasy spoon kitchen is listening to death metal, right? Have your characters experience the place. Spend time thinking about how it looks, feels, sounds. What does the light look like when it comes through the old greasy diner windows? Maybe they've got tinted glass. How does that look? How does your character think about where they're at? How does your character engage with the environment? You're going to hear me use phrases like that a lot. Your characters need to do more than just be, they need to do. So have them interact not only with their own thoughts, but with the world. And that's the way to bring all of that to life for your characters. It is all in the details. One of the things I encourage you guys to do is practice. Practice, practice. Writing is a practice after all. It's never, ever perfect. So let's practice and get to the best that we can get. I want you to go into different rooms and know how you feel, how you experience, how the air feels and smells. Do you feel that really cold, too cold air conditioning in your grandparents' bedroom because your grandpa likes to freeze at night? How does that feel when it skitters across your skin? Your characters are real. In order to make them feel real, they need to react to the environment and not just be in it. Have them do things in it, have them react. That is, in a nutshell, talk about place and setting. Just with everything else, pay attention to the details. When we forget the details, our stories go flat. So spend some time experiencing in your own world and have your characters emulate those experiences. And your setting is going to be vibrant and believable. Your place will feel real. Okay. You guys definitely got this, but if you have any questions, you know how to hit me up. We can chat, text. You guys can give me a call. We can Zoom if you want. And of course, we can continue this discussion on the general discussion forum. All right, hang in there. You guys are doing amazing, and you definitely got this.